breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Happy Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. So hope you're getting a good start to your Thanksgiving holiday, your Thanksgiving week. Hope you are going to get a chance to spend some time with family, and if not, hopefully someone is nice enough to invite you over to their turkey dinner. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So there's not too much to cover. Really, people are just bearish right now. Let's be honest, the sentiment's really bad, but at the same time, the tech's really good. So everything is looking pretty good in terms of the tech, in terms of all of the stuff that we would ever want to be happening with crypto right now. Legislation, all the governments being bullish. I mean, we got mainstream right now being more bullish than actual crypto people right now, which is hilarious. So that should tell you that there's a lot of confusion in the markets. There's some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, especially with even crypto people. So I've just been getting more bullish. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I have a mental illness. But while everyone's been getting more and more increasingly bearish, I have been getting increasingly bullish. I've been wanting to double down. I've been wanting to believe more because I just feel like crypto as a utility to be able to be used for all different types of things is a reality. It is a use case. It does have something to it. Our system has been run on digital cash for a little while now, actually, and this is what the problem is that old antiquated system doesn't track every single freaking dollar. Doesn't mean you need to know exactly what's happening. Us as taxpayers need to know that our tax dollars are actually going somewhere where it needs to go. Things like that need to be freaking on a public ledger so we can see what the hell's going on. Our money has been quadruply taxed, quadrupled, spent, double spent, triple spent. So the whole point of blockchain and the ledger is to make sure we're not double spending stuff. There's some deflationary aspects into it. We can burn it. We can do all these things in the blockchain that make it to where it does have a use case of quote, some type of scarcity and tokenomics built into it. With the US dollar, that's not the case. So it's really interesting how we do want blockchain for the purpose of the ledger. We know what's going in, we know what's going out, we know that like this is the amount of coins that this person got. That's it. But we don't really need to necessarily know maybe exactly the amount or who it's going to, but the fact that you can at least prove that the balance is what it is, or the actual ledger. So some of it would make sense to be private. Some of it, who cares? But the point of it is to where we know that when you spend it, it's verified. You can't change it. You can't say that you sent this amount, but then you take it back or whatever, then it really wasn't that. That's what it's all about. So there's that aspect of the type of where we're going towards in the future here is to eliminate the irresponsible use of the US dollar, because we've been printing that sucker like crazy, and this has been the issue. So this is why we're in so much debt. This is why I think the system is crumbling and going into a blockchain Bitcoin standard, but it's going to take some interesting things to happen. We've talked about this on the channel. We've talked about our theory. We're going to get into it today. We'll save it for later. But guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Ding the bell to be notified. And we want to make sure we're giving everyone a shout out who is here today. We really appreciate it. So we've still continued to not do any leverage trading. We're trying to buy as much crypto as possible. This is the time to be accumulating, because this is where we're in extreme fear still. We're in extreme fear in the markets in general. The sentiment's really bad, and people are expecting us to continue to be in a quote 1 to 2 year bear market. Some people think it's going to be 2 and 3 years. Like they think that was it. Like then we're going to go into another 2 year bear market like we did from 2022 or 2020 out of 2021 going into the bottom of 16,000. I don't know. So a lot of people think that the AI bubble is getting really big. Like the AI bubble is getting to a point where it's going to be like the internet crash. But even then, we know what happened after that. After the year 2000 and then going into 2001, we did have a crash. But then what happened with companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft? I mean, all of these big companies, they recovered massively and even recovered through all of the dooms, volatility of 2015, 16, going into 2008, and then going into COVID. Then after COVID, we go into all of the election volatility, world geopolitical stuff, wars. Oh my gosh. And it still was able to go up through all of these. So I think crypto is the same way. Crypto is that same kind of thing. And gold has been represented in the, the currency battle here. So there's been so while there's been all this geopolitical stuff happening, there's actually a currency war happening. There is a currency war happening where, the dollar is and still is the based U.S. reserve or world reserve currency. Things are priced in the dollar because it's the better currency. Like most things are priced in USD and cash because it's just out of every currency against the lira, the yuan, the ruble, the yen, all that stuff. But what's interesting is that all these currencies have a connection with the US dollar. And so I've started to learn this over time, and the connection with the US dollar makes a lot of sense because the US dollar has been purposefully getting killed and destroyed. And so the dollar strength index has been representing this. And when the dollar's getting killed, it pushes world reserve currencies into gold, and countries, nation states holding more gold as a hedge against the dollar getting crushed, and even against their own currencies. So this is what BRICS has been doing. the BRICS countries saying, that we're going to set up our own currency, but really they've just been buying gold, and they've been kind of accumulating maybe a little bit of Bitcoin as well. But what I think is the master plan here for the USA, specifically the United States, is that we have a lot of gold, and we've been hinting that we're going to price our gold at all-time highs. Now, do you see where gold is at? Gold, in terms of Bitcoin's price, if Bitcoin was valued at true value instead of in USD, it would be worth $354,000 right now. But since it's priced in the declining dollar, it's priced at $86,934 right now. Now, when we sell our gold and then go into Bitcoin, what do you think is going to then happen? Because right now the chart looks pretty inversed. It looks like Bitcoin is going to go to $44,000, and then it's going to, and then it'll go up. Kind of looks like that. Hey, maybe it could. But that's the thing, is that it's still going to go to $293,000. But how long are you willing to wait through that massive volatility spike? It could happen. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go that low. I mean, look, we do have some liquidity sitting down here, but we also did just kind of hit, hopefully, a bottom of 80K. We wicked down into 80K, $80,000. But you could see this is very inversely with gold right now. But if it was priced in gold, which I think is the whole plan, Bitcoin will then be priced at its fair value of $300,000 per Bitcoin. How long will that take? I have no idea. But I do think that is the plan. I will bet that the US government is trying to sell the gold that we have, and I think we have a lot of gold. I think we have more gold than any country. It would make sense that we have more gold than any country, and so this is the plan. Now, what do you do with this information? Well, you just try not to be super bearish with drawdowns that are classic. We've had classic drawdowns. You can see them in the chart. We've had one at 108 where we drew down 31%, and then we went up and broke all-time high. That was just the most recent drawdown. We had a drawdown here in 2024 where we went down 35%. That was a nice drawdown, but that actually brought us up into some all-time highs. And you can see, gosh, there's been a bunch of drawdowns before going into some peaks. Like we've had 22% drawdown, then breaking some all-time highs. We had one here, 20% drawdown, then breaking. We've had so many different, 50% drawdowns, and then this one was the 2021 fake out. Which some people think that that's what's going to happen here. We had 126, and then we have a fake out, pump to a new all-time high, like maybe 135, and then go into, quote, a bear market. So, but it's hard. It's hard to tell. No one really knows what's going to happen, because here's the thing. Bitcoin has such a network effect when it gets buy pressure up and just more people are buying than, quote, selling. And then when you add in the ETF, that's when we start getting into some interesting territory, because recently the price action has reflected the outflows of the ETF. So if the price action has reflected the outflows of the ETF, then maybe that's something we should be tracking. If we know that they're selling a little bit, maybe that's just going to be short-term price action to the downside. Doesn't mean it's over. Because if you are on the thesis and are on the mindset that crypto is the future and everything that is financial is going on the blockchain, almost everything that's going to have to do with that will be on the blockchain. There's going to be winners. There's going to be things that are picked as the store value, the use case, the tech, the privacy, the applications, retail usage, institutional usage. That is it's massively undervalued right now compared to the scope of what you could invest in the world right now. Massively undervalued. So we have to look at these ETF flows and know that it is representative in that. So once we start to see him flow back in, which is just like, it's all correlating to with what's happening with the Fed right now. So Trump has basically hinted that they're going to announce the new Fed chair. Basically, it's basically they're going to have a silent Fed is what people are projecting. Tom Lee has talked about it. He says they're going to have a shadow Fed. So Powell will be potentially pushed out and maybe even resign before his term's over, or he will stay through his term and they will just still operate with a shadow Fed, basically encouraging and dictating through the districts and the actual board and the chair board for the Fed, making pushing for aggressive interest rate cuts, because that's what they're wanting to push for. They're wanting to push for aggressive interest rate cuts to then push into these getting people to get into houses, because the people are not wanting to get mortgages right now because the interest rates are still really high, and also the prices are really high. So they want to make it to where the interest rates are going down. Then it doesn't correlate over into the housing market immediately. So that's why they want to aggressively cut now. So then in next year, in quarter 1, the housing market and the mortgage rates will then they will adjust, go down. They'll issue 50-year mortgages for people at whatever rate, whether it be like 5, because right now it's at like, I think 6% or something like that. And so, and just 3 years ago, it was at 3 to 4%. So it's gone up a 2 to 3%. So, and then the interest rates are at 4% or 4.2% for the fund rate. So it doesn't immediately affect everything, but it will, I think, over in 2026 will be the rally year of all of the things that have been happening this year to then play out. And it makes sense because that's why they would bottom the market out at whatever point, whether it be before Christmas or at Christmas, fake us out, do a Christmas fake pump and dump, and then go into 2026 is when we're going to make the most money, because we need to be buying the fear. We need to be buying the fear right now, buying the crap out of it, because we are in extreme fear still. We're extreme fear. We know that every time we've gone into extreme fear, we have rallied into, where is the fear and greed index for, I might have clicked out of that tab, but yeah, the fear and greed index right now in the overall markets is still crazy. So if we've learned anything from being in the quote investing game, trading game, testing out all this stuff, whether it even be in the stocks, like if you're looking at stocks on Robinhood, you're wondering what to buy. Well, I mean, mostly everything has taken a bit of a cool off. So if whatever you're bullish on and whatever you believe in, everything has taken a cool off. Like if you believe in MicroStrategy and what they're doing, the stock's down 50%. There's been a lot of stuff that's taken a hit, and you would take it as a buying opportunity. And especially in crypto, like a lot of stuff, like everything that I like is on a massive discount right now. So my portfolio looks like garbage. I mean, it looks like crap. There'd be no reason for me to be selling anything or thinking I'm going to be timing any bottom or quote, making anything better by not just buying more right now. So that's how you have to go into these portions of the market, is like, what do you actually believe in? Are you going to buy it when it quote looks bad? Or are you going to only buy when it looks good? It makes no sense. So, but people that like Bitcoin is a perfect example. If you like Bitcoin and you believe in Bitcoin's use case, you will buy Bitcoin when it's $80,000. You will buy it when it's at its all-time high, you will buy it at any price. You don't care. Obviously, you'll like to get it a little cheaper. I mean, we all would like to get our stuff cheaper, but we don't want it to get too cheap because then it's like going to zero. Because like then you keep buying the dip, and it's like, okay, well, it keeps freaking dipping. It won't stop. You know, ETH has kind of felt like that. We're like, oh yeah, buy the dip. We're like, sir, I can't buy any more of the dip. It hurts. It hurts, my friend. But that's just the thing. We're investing in a new, emerging, bleeding edge culture technology that is disrupting everything. That's what people don't understand right now. Like retail would be salivating to, quote, buy digital assets right now if they knew what they were buying, but they don't know what they're buying. Like they don't understand it in that way of it being the biggest disruptor of everything right now. And it's connected with AI. AI is that too, but underlining the AI is the crypto tech, the blockchain, and then also when you go into investing into the stock market, you're looking at AI. You're looking at what companies are heavily leveraging AI to then make more money and make more profit, because then they can use more AI and get shit done really fast and then to generate more revenue. Because that's really what the price go up with stocks is like, hey, revenue went up. We don't have to spend as much money. Investors are looking into the future. They're speculating that we're going to make all this stuff. And then price go up. It's the same with crypto. It's the same with crypto. So you just have to find what you believe in, and it might be different things. Like I have a thesis and a reason for everything that I want to be accumulating in my portfolio. It's really basic. I would like to, now is a great time. You know, I sold a lot of my Bitcoin and traded a lot of my Bitcoin away just to be honest. And so now that it's back at 86,000, I'm like, sweet. Now I'll buy some more Bitcoin, because I was like, man, okay, I guess am I going to have to buy Bitcoin at over buy Bitcoin at like $126,000? I was like, man, I guess I'm going to do it. Because I am one of those people that think it's going to go to $1 million per coin. So, I mean, you buy it at 126, like, who cares? But yeah, 86 sounds great. And then ETH, I think it's going to go to 20K. So if it's at 2,800 or 3,000 or 4,000, I don't care. I think it's going to go past $10,000. And there's a big thesis and reason why I could go into it, but I'm not going to right now. Solana, I still think with the same kind of way with Ethereum, Solana is going to do really well. People trash on Solana for a lot of different reasons, but they're just underestimating the growth potential of Solana, especially when you look at something like the ETF. Crow, same thing with Crow. People underestimate the power of Crow and what's been back-end invested and publicly invested in the Crow ecosystem through the Trump administration, the Trump family, just being more operations in the United States, but also them being a Singapore-based company, but being heavily involved in United States operations. Bullish Crow. Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 News. Shout out to the Ticker Bitcoin community. Shout out to all of the Sprotos. And we'll be seeing them soon. It's going to be cool. We're all going to be hanging out. And so can't wait to see all of the Sprotos in real life. And then AVAX at $13 is insane. AVAX at $13 is so freaking cheap. It's disgusting. AVAX is actually really great. I like AVAX. I don't probably talk about AVAX enough, but when I've used it, it's super fast. I like the token name, Avalanche. I don't know. I like the logo. There's things about it that even just tech alone, but I just kind of like the branding. And the price action's always done really well when we've had really bullish altcoin season. Like this thing has done super, super well. And it's just kind of, it's like, it's criminal that it's so cheap right now. I don't understand. It is criminal that AVAX is $13 right now. $13. All-time high was $148. And then during 2024, we were cooking. I mean, this was one of the alts that like came back. Like this one, because a lot of alts, we were wondering, are they ever going to come back? Like, are they going to recover? And some of them just like didn't do as well. I mean, some of them were destroyed and never came back from the previous bull market. Some of them went bye-bye. So I like that this one had some life in it, came back. And now, it being one of those coins, I mean, all alts got cooked by that 10-10 liquidation event because it went as low as $8. So, and we have to remember that that event was very bad and made a lot of people... It made a lot of people go bankrupt. Let's just be honest. Like a lot of people went bankrupt on that liquidation event. So a lot of alts got cooked. And Tom Lee makes a good point of saying, look, the market is still recovering from that. It was the worst one we've ever seen ever. And basically it wiped out so many different things in the market. And so it's probably still feeling the pain because it wicked up to try and like recover and save itself, and then you can see it went right back down into basically the low valuation here. And so this is what it's like. Is it over? I mean, that's what people think. Like, is it still unraveling this massive liquidation event? Like it was only just a month. It was only a month ago. It was only a month and like a month and some change. So it could just like who knows how much more we have to kind of unravel or find out what actually happened with Binance, because Binance didn't even get audited. They haven't even gotten audited yet. Like that whole thing happened and they just swept it under the rug and said, "Oh, keep building." They just like, "Oh, just keep building." And then CZ got pardoned. And it was just like, what the heck? Like it was just all this crazy stuff that just basically like the market was just wanting to sweep all that under the rug and see if no one would notice. It's like, that is insane. But we have to use that to our advantage and know that like crypto is going to be used for a long time. So with these manipulation points, it's usually lined up with buyers that are on the sidelines ready to scoop it up. Wherever there's blood in the streets and there's all that stuff that's happening, this is where you come in and you buy the blood in the streets. You buy the freaking blood in the streets. Okay. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting at, if the ticker's right on my little thing up there, it's $87,224. 87,000. Yeah, that's about right. That's matched up pretty well. 87,111 on the Coinbase chart. Yeah, 87,222. Cool. Yeah, we just have to have patience. And also, we need to be looking at because everyone's focusing on Zcash and privacy, and they're going into Monero and Dash and all this stuff, and like the really high market cap privacy coins. And I really think, honestly, Headband and his people that he ends up getting in the network with and finding things like this, like Zara, is pretty awesome, because it's literally what people are quote bullish on, but this is something a lot more of a barrier to entry to be able to, I think, make more money. Let's just be honest. And there is a potential too to where it's like, it's not about just also making the money. It's about using your assets that you already have Like if you've already been investing in crypto, and let's not get to the thing about making money or not. Like you shouldn't be investing in hopes of making money anyway, because if you are, then when you don't, you're going to be sad and depressed. You need to go in this knowing that you could lose it all. But if you do end up making money, then just be happy you did. But know if you don't, that's not what you were coming in, quote, to just, oh, I'm going to get massively rich. It's not going to really work like that. But in the chance that you do, well, you better cherish it. So, but if you've been invested in crypto, you got a bunch of Bitcoin, you got a bunch of ETH, you got a bunch of stable coins, you did well in crypto. But now you want to be able to like actually use it like cash, and you want it to be peer-to-peer. You might want to use it offline and online. Well, there are protocols that exist that are going to let you do that. And so with this whole 0K, zero proof thing, but then also institutions can have their own, like enterprise. So you can do like, so say like if you're just like me and you just want to have secure digital cash, you can have like a hardware wallet, you can have the dashboard, you can kind of use it like any DeFi protocol or DeFi application, and it's shielded, so it's great. So you could send in, and then you have your private dashboard. You know that like you could still prove that it's going to the, you know, that it's getting to where you need it to go. But when someone is like, another person can't see that, but it can be proved. And it's not to where you have to, and it's also on Solana too. That's what's cool, is like it's through Solana. So it's still being able to use all the, it's like a seamless, almost like bridgeless type of environment to where you can use it multi-chain. And so, but then if you're also enterprise, if you're like a big company, enterprise grade privacy solutions for institutions requiring confidential transactions. So if you're like state to state, you got like a big big federal contract that maybe a state is transacting with, and they just want to make sure that everything is like kosher and stuff like that. They could be using something like this. So the reason why I think it's good to, if something like this is going to be pushing for this, and there's someone it's a docs team, and you're being able to get just a better, lower barrier entry than something like what Zcash is doing. I don't know. I feel like Zcash is just a big distraction from you just owning Bitcoin, and then you can just and you can just buy Bitcoin and use it like a store of value and a currency inside of a shielded ZK protocol proof on Solana. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then if it continues, they continue to build out that dashboard. And look, guys, there's probably going to be other things doing the same thing, but who's going to be able to catch more market share? And that's where you take the bet. You don't know. And that's the thing with XRP. I realize now, maybe XRP is not trying to become the Swift banking system. Maybe they already got what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to do something different. They're like, look, we're going public and we're trying to access like Saudi money. We're trying to get into like, the sand money, Middle Eastern money. We're trying to get over there and have, sovereign wealth funds and things being set up with XRP. That's how XRP could get to $5 to $10, not by trying to, quote, do something is already doing a little bit better. They're like, yeah, we're probably not doing that. Damian Wynn says, sadly, I feel that institutional investors are doing a great job flushing our retail and controlling hype cycles. Dr. Goat said that little hat people money. But that's the thing though, but as an American, if you live in America, and you've probably realized for a long time that America, if we don't have good relations with the Saudis, it gets dicey. it gets real dicey when the Saudis are like, nah. Like, that's why Trump is really smart, getting ththese deals done with all of these big Middle Eastern countries. I mean, like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and you just go down the list, like Egypt. I mean, you just like keep like all of those, keep those, because those guys are very strong. Like, think about those, the egos and the personalities and just the, you know, the power these certain individuals feel, you know, trying to run a nation, a country of people. It's these dudes are serious dudes. These are serious guys. And so if you can make these guys come to the table and make a deal, that's some tough crap to do. And so I think that it's really smart that Trump is doing this, because they have a lot of money. Oh my God. And it's so funny because he's meeting with the Saudi prince. He's like, yeah, how much did you invest? It's 600, another 600 trees. That's a lot of money. And he smacks the Saudi prince on the knee with the piece of paper. I'm like, that's hilarious. It's so funny. The funniest president in the entire world, right, in history. But the point I'm trying to make, and we're going on like a random rant here, but the point is, there is going to be so much money going through, and yes, there's manipulation. There's the whole thing of, the Trump families is you know, manipulating it, and they're making so much money from it. You know what? Why are you so upset? Why don't you do something about it? You know what? Because you can complain about it. You can point out that the system's there and the manipulation's there, but guess what? How about none of it's there? How about the only thing that you can change is yourself and your perception of it? So once that changes, then things might actually work more in our favor. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of getting mad about it, like, I let the manipulation and the CZ thing get me so angry, but it did not. But the only way that I can make it actually work for me and not make it poison me and making me angry and upset is to transmute it into then empower me to just act and do something about it. So what did I change is like, okay, well, I know that I believe in crypto. I get excited when I talk about crypto. I'd like to work in the industry, build stuff. And I think using crypto and investing in crypto is going to be probably one of the smartest things to do right now. I really do feel like that. It might not feel like it sometimes. You might feel like really not smart. Especially right now. I mean, look at gold. You, as a crypto investor right now, you probably feel real stupid. You're probably like, wow, I could have invested in the S&P 500 in gold. And so that's why you're probably like, wow. That's why CT, like, you know, they don't really like feel too great about themselves right now. Because, you know, it's kind of like, again, the classic thing, like, oh, the boomers won again. God, we thought we had it. We thought we had something for us, you know, but the boomers won again. The boomers who bought the house for a chicken drumstick and a family heirloom armoire that they were like, yeah, you could, you know, yeah, we'll take that. Didn't even have to sign a contract, and then they sold that house for 600,000-700,000 to a sorry sack of something, you know, 20 something year old, or, you know, getting a fresh mortgage. But what they don't realize is that the walls, they thought they were concrete, but they were really built on chicken drumsticks. Have to redo everything. All right, well, I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, you know what I'd like to do? Let's do this. Let's see who's streaming right now. All right, BitBoy. BitBoy's streaming right now. It's got 75 people watching. Let's go. BitBoy's still doing it. We got Crypto Cobra has a premiere. Let's see who else. We got Chart Hackers. Did they change their name or something? I guess that's, yeah, because I feel like that was Chart Hack. I feel like that was a different name. I don't know who that was. We got Crypto Blood. He's got 7 people watching. We got CTO Larson is live with the DCA. We got Marty Party on there. We got Crypto Lifer streaming right now. He's got 1,400 people watching. Nice. Not too bad. All right, let's do a portfolio overview here. So a lot of this is actually matching up. Like I love my portfolio because it's very simple. There's not a lot of thrills. There's not a lot of fluff. It's very basic on why I want to hold some of these, and it's in some of these I'm not like as bullish on as I used to be, and some of them I've actually become more bullish. Like even it's just very strongly bullish on these things, like Bitcoin, because it's just such a disruptor. It makes people so angry and so like it's such a. I've heard it so many times now, and that's why I like Bitcoin so much. There's always so much FUD on it, and then it just surprises and smacks people right in the head. And that's why I love it so much. I think that's why I've just been like, wow, Bitcoin has had probably one of the biggest FUD campaigns on it in existence without it having to need a paid for counter campaign by the Bitcoin creators or company itself. And so it has its own organic campaign, and that's what I like about it. And memes aren't the same way. Memes have its own organic campaign of followers that end up taking charging forward with it. Like Dogecoin is a great example, which big news in Doge today is the ETF. We have a big Dogecoin ETF that went live, and again, we've showed you the Dogecoin BTC ratio chart, and that thing's about to freaking explode. That's another thing that people forgot about, that Doge still has a mission to get to $1. When Doge is at $1, you don't understand. You don't understand the stupid FOMO and irresponsible decision making that's going to happen when Doge starts to get to $1. That's when retail wakes up. That's probably when retail will actually wake up and go, oh, damn. And then that's going to be perfectly timed. If Elon is talking to Trump on the phone at night before they're going to bed, he's going to say, Trump, can you just get the stimulus checks out before Doge goes to $1 or around the time, and then I'll tweet, and then you time the checks going into the bank accounts. Just please push it through. Like, I don't know what you got to do. Like, just make it go to the Supreme Court. Just whatever you have to do, like override Congress, get the stimulus checks from the tariffs in the accounts immediately before I make the post about Doge. Just freaking do it. This is what I want this. It's not relying on it, but oh my God. You guys don't understand. You just don't understand. I think there's a reason why Alex Becker's been so like drunk on the thought of altcoin season. Because he's seen it before. He really has seen it before. He's been dumbly just so bullish on alts where it's been just gross. People were just like, wow, it's so over. And then he's basically right. It takes a little bit, but it's because the biggest euphoric runs happen the last 9 weeks of the run. And then all in between there, you have months of chop consolidation. It goes up 90%, it goes down 50, it goes, and then all of a sudden, the last 9 weeks, it goes and just like slices heads. Guillotine. People are duck rolling out of cars going 100 miles an hour. That's what happens. But most people are not willing to get to that point and fumble before that. And right now is the time where everyone's like, oh, I'm getting out. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm getting out. And it's like, of what? To go back to what? What are you talking about? Get out of what? Where are you going to go? Get out of what? What are you talking about? This is the point we're trying to make here. If you realize how many people are going to want your Dogecoin and your Bitcoin and your ETH and your stable coins, no one's going to want your cash. No one's going to want it. It's going to be too expensive to hold cash. Cash is deflating and inflating, or it's cash is inflating and it's being debased. So it's more expensive and more risk to hold cash and deal with cash even as a business. That system is dead. It's gone. All you're seeing right now is the growing pains of a dying system and bunch of crypto Twitter profiles thinking they know that they're like, yeah, that was it. That was it. I only had my 4 years in crypto. And because I didn't do well, that the whole world isn't going to go on chain because I think it's over. That's literally what's happening right now. There's a bunch of crypto Twitter people that maybe made 100K and they're like, oh, I'm going to retire now and quit crypto. Oh my God. Have you learned anything? Have you done any hard work or built anything? No, you have not. The people that are going to be here for the next 10 years, 15 years and build something and use case into knowing that people are going to just wait. You're going to be rolling in your bed at night with nightmares, knowing that if all you had to do was just buy Pepe and Dogecoin, some freaking meme coins, and people are going to want your Pepe, you're going to have nightmares. You're going to have nightmares knowing that term, never sell your Bitcoin, was meant because, oh, people are now transacting in Bitcoin more than you actually thought. And the whole FUD about it being peer-to-peer cash was just actual true like stupidity, because now you're able to use that Bitcoin that you bought over the past 10 years to send it on a ZK proof protocol on Solana. Have I considered X spaces or participating in them? No, I don't like spaces. I like coming on the camera and live streaming and yelling. That's what I like doing. If you haven't noticed. but I might enjoy it a little too much. And I guess according to YouTube numbers right now, I don't know. I don't think you guys are enjoying it too much. You probably would rather me go live trading. I feel like that is a lot of what I think that some of the people that are watching on YouTube right now, it's mainly just a lot of crypto. It's just a lot of crypto people. It's not really a lot of new people. And they're got the gambling mindset. They're gambling. They want that next parlay, baby. They want that next parlay. But yeah, what's going to happen is private money on a public blockchain. It's public, and it's a public blockchain that can't be double spent. But if you want it to be private, you're going to need to put it on a protocol. And that protocol needs to have really good tech. And this is true. Let's all be honest. No one gave a rip about privacy or Zcash until all of the asshats on crypto Twitter started talking about it. Fake. Bitcoin will still sideline. And I said Bitcoin will still sideline you. Shout out to Aussies. Shout out to the Aussies. Apparently, a lot of the big accounts, OG accounts, were from Australia. So shout out to the Aussies. Shout out to Headband. It was his birthday the other day. And I actually sent him some ticker Bitcoin. And he was ready to hold it for like his dear life. He was like, I won't sell it. I will hold it forever. And then I was like, bro, you can sell it for Zara. It's okay. And he like literally did not wait even 2 seconds. He was like, sold. Sold it in 2 seconds. I just had to give him the approval. We're all going to be billionaires. We're all going to be billionaires. Just so you know. We're going to be crypto billionaires. See, if we'll be thousandaires and millionaires if we're holding cash, but if we're holding a bunch of crypto, kingdom billionaire. Well, technically, I'm live on X, so I am in a space. You are in a space. I did do where I opened up a space while I was live, and then I can kind of have the incorporation of you know, if people want to come up and say something. Make sure you repost it. That would be cool. Repost it. Been battling that algorithm. This website. So then my VPN is blocking ProveX. Oh yeah, and if you guys have been following all the stuff with X right now and what they're rolling out is being able to see the location of where your account was last pinged. So there's a lot of accounts that are in question of integrity. The joke was a lot of the accounts that were suspected to be Indian were in fact Indian. And it's just like, yeah, so it's like a lot of racism going around. That's yeah, but my account, I mean, I got nothing to hide. I mean, geez, you can tell I'm a freaking American. I'm a dumb American. I don't know where any country is. I don't know what any country is located next to any country. I'm based in the United States. I've changed my username one damn time, and I've been signed up to this freaking godforsaken website since 2010. So. And I came into, I changed my YouTube or my handle right in the peak. If you go back, let's look at that time frame right there. Peak crypto Twitter. May 2023. You want to look at where all those contracts that you love so dear? What time frame those suckers got minted? Right there, baby. Right there. That's why I'm bullish on these freaking coins, my friends, is because I've been watching these stupid things for 2.5 years. 2.5 freaking years. It's what made me go on to Twitter and change my handle to Dano Crypto. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not quitting. I don't want you guys to quit, and there's no reason to be bearish. Just believe in yourself. Just freaking believe. Kuzim says, if anyone has any leads on father advocacy groups, hit me up. This family court is actively destroying me and my son's future. Oh my gosh. That is terrible. I know I've heard horror stories of just people having to go through the court system with things like that, and it is really tough. I do not know anything personally, but the best thing that I can do for you is I can pray. And some people would laugh and be like, oh, prayers don't work. Wow. Oh, you're going to pray, but it really does actually work. So I will pray for you, Kuzim, to actively get some people and some resources towards you so you can get some help with that, because that's not fun. And we got Steve Hickey in the house. Good morning. Yeah, look at these. Look at this. Like these contracts were made 2 years, 7 months ago, and this was the start. I mean, this was kind of just the start of the spark. The spark of getting people back into the spirit of crypto. But gosh, there's just so much. There's so much to watch. So yeah, there's a lot of chatter on X, but they're all talk and don't have any solutions. Yeah. I'll brainstorm. A lot of my friends that have gone through divorce and also that have family and kids involved, they've kind of worked it out and didn't have to go through the courts system, which can sometimes be very just strenuous and just a nightmare. So that's why I don't have a complete full frame of reference of having to like go through, where it's like you have to, be in a battle. Get a little tricky. And there's just a lot of stuff that's like, you don't want to say the wrong things. You got to do all the right stuff. Got to make sure you're like really like crossing your I's and dotting your T's. I'd say that's my best advice. To just make sure you're like clean, cut, clear. Don't make any mistakes. Do your best to do everything you're supposed to do. And that is your best defense, because then when you present whatever you're trying to present, you're like, look, I got everything I need. I got everything's clear. I've done this, that. And so that's probably like get your checklist in order. What do you got to do? You know, what are the things that are the highest priority things? Top 5 things, that's probably what you can use AI for, is like, I'm in this particular predicament, and you can say, what are the top 5 things I can do right now that I can actualize to make this situation a little easier? That might help too. Yeah. So yep, nothing else too much to cover today, guys. I mean, this is pretty much it. I mean, it's just like, I've been looking at the Solana ecosystem. You know, I've been really just kind of looking at different Sol tokens. Not too much. Like, I've been looking at Bonk, Zeus, Zera, Orca, and following a little bit of the Jupiter ecosystem, so Jupe, and what else for Solana? That's pretty much it. You know, just like in the DEX tokens and things like that, and then Solana itself, and then I'm really paying attention to ETH and the meme coins that I hold on ETH. I'm really focusing on Polygon. I think Polygon, along with Nakamoto Games, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really all I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on very much. I mean, it's very, very simple. And then, Immutable X, like the crypto gaming stuff. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, my friends. Oh yeah, you must be in a completely different algo hole. Yeah, I only get Bitcoin posts, and for that I am grateful. Well, this is what I do, because I do like to be on the For You. The For You section, I get people that I follow, but then also just kind of like the random posts, like, but see, when you go to For You, I'll get Mert, and Mert's just been like, I'm like, this Solana dev, Mert, for Helios Labs, has been shilling Zcash like crazy, and I'm gonna laugh so hard when this dude tweets about Zera. When he starts to tweet about Zera, and he's been shilling the Zcash this whole time, being on Solana. And he apparently thinks that crypto doesn't need marketing. It just needs good tech. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. All right, so Richard Hart is hopefully it's the last I have to talk about the new X privacy violator feature. How much damage does it do to all of those where it lies about where the person is based from? Why was there no ability to opt out for people or choose to close one's account before being violated? If this terrible garbage was enacted to undo some political influence crap, did it undo the political influence crap your team might have been trying to do somewhere else? It's just really an ultra terrible and damaging decision that was made against us all. Yeah. Some people don't want their location doxed, of course. But, I mean, for some people, I mean, it's like, what am I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm in Switzerland. You know my ass is in the United States. Look at me. But it's like, I could say like, yeah, don't try and track me down. But if you try and track me down, good luck. I'm insane. If you've watched any of my live streams, you probably wouldn't want to track me down. So, yeah, I'm United States based. So it's like, what, like at that point, it's like, I mean, what are you going to do? But this is what's funny. All these systems of control, all these systems and these things and having the privacy, you know what? Doesn't exist. There is no spoon. You know what you change? Yourself and your perception of the whole entire damn thing. And guess what starts to free? You. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to focus so much on these, on like the systems of control to try and reveal to you the systems of control. The biggest system of control is your own damn mind and perception of the entire damn thing. So until we break free from that, we continue to let the actual system keep making us feel like we have even the illusion of choice even to begin with. It's all not there. It's all fake. That's the trick. Because it really doesn't, it's going to be different for almost everyone. What is going to be the thing that is going to give you your, quote, freedom of wealth and prosperity, and what you choose as what your freedom is. But the catalyst and the way that it happens is all the same. It's through our mind, and it's through our perception of all of this. So that's how we're going to break free from the, quote, matrix and the shackles of the, quote, control systems, is to realize that the control systems aren't even real themselves. See you on the next one.